Good morning, Danny! It's March 12th. That teleporting thing is really fun to do. Although I just realized that all the jump cuts I do kinda makes it seem like I'm teleporting all the time. So I think you made a lot of good points when you were talking about making sure your audience understands what the crap you're talking about. And your video games example was brilliant. In my opinion, it's very similar to yours that if you make games really easy, a lot more people are going to buy them. And that comes from people not getting discouraged while playing it and wanting to throw the controller across the room. Derek has done this and broken a controller. Cough. But do we really want something to be easier as humans, or do we want to be challenged? And in terms of that, I'm gonna diverge from your opinion. Like, take the game Super Mario Brothers. That game is crazy balls hard. Okay, maybe it's just really hard for me because I'm really bad at platformers. I'm really bad at game. But Super Mario Brothers, it's a really simple concept. You're a plumber, and you jump from platform to platform in order to get to a tube or a castle, and your end goal is to get a princess. So why do we keep playing this game even though it came out in the 80s? And I think this is the beauty of Super Mario Brothers, is that it's just challenging enough not to be frustrating. It builds upon previous levels in order to lay a foundation for your success. And that is exactly how I think things should be. For example, in physics, we just learned something called vector algebra for projectile motion. I know how all of your eyes just got as you watched this video. You were just like, what did he just say? A vector is just something that goes in a direction. Most of you know what algebra is. It's just variables, or letters, really, if you want to look at that. It's something that changes in an equation. Projectile, things that travel in a direction in an arc-like form. And motion, things that move. So basically you have variables that go in a direction, and the direction is kind of like a parabola. Or another example is when I was talking about high fructose corn syrup. I explained all the terms that I was talking about so that you knew that sucrose was a type of sugar, as was fructose, as was glucose. They're all different types of sugar. And you know what sugar is. The point I'm trying to make is that I was laying a foundation in order to explain harder and more difficult concepts to grasp. And when you build these things on shaky foundations, that's where I have a problem with it, because then you're not allowing people to grasp the more difficult concepts. And a lot of times in science, we just talk over people's heads using words that they don't understand. But the other side of it is that we dumb stuff down way too much for people to actually understand it, but then we don't build upon it at all and make it more complicated. I think math is really bad at doing this. Math in and of itself isn't that hard to do. It's basically a set of rules. It's like language. But if you don't understand the previous concept, then you're not going to understand the next concept that builds upon it. Okay, Danny, now we're going to do some rapid fire job thoughts. Costco, dollars are higher and people not treating you like poop, gets a thumbs up in my book. Men's Warehouse, this one I don't think is going to be good for you if you don't understand why a suit is $600 versus like a $100 suit. The internship with traffic. I'm not a huge fan of internships because you don't get paid for them, although you're getting experience. But I do love that you have theories in mind in order to make transportation more effective. And in that case, I think you should keep it open as an option. Rock climbing attendant, this one gets 2 big thumbs up from the sky. I mean, think of all the rock climbing you could do. Although I do understand the downside of it being a lot of gas to drive to Federal away from Tacoma. But Danny, rock climbing! Danny, I think I finally found the perfect punishment for you. The punishment I have for you is that you are not allowed to work out for an entire week. Have fun with that one. So Danny, keep it real, and DFTBA, and I will see you tomorrow.